Let's bring in criminal defense attorney and federal litigator Vic Bajaj. Vic, great to have you on. Andy McCarthy made the argument that Trump might have a remedy. He said this, watch.
So as long as they're confident that he doesn't divest himself of what holdings he has, and it's not like there are other victims who are holding the bag here that were proved up at the trial who need to be compensated, the court ought to be satisfied that, Trump's appeal can go through.
What do you think about that? You agree?
Well, the court ought to be satisfied, yes, but under the law, the judgment amount that was rendered in the Superior Court here by the judge needs to be honored and paid. So the reason for this in the background, Trace, is we don't want people to appeal judgments just because they can't pay. And so there has to be some evidence of ability to pay first. Now, what he is saying...
Does it all have to come in? Do you have to get the whole $476 million?
You have to have someone who's willing to post it, and therefore we have the bond. The insurance underwriting companies say, hey, if I can see you have a certain number of millions of dollars, I'll post the rest because, hey, you're good for it. The problem is there's both a factual dispute in this case, whether it was true, reasonable, or an abuse of discretion as to the amount of the $350 million plus interest, and also there's a constitutional issue. Is this unreasonable under the law? Does it have a bearing or resemblance to the quote-unquote fraud that did not hurt anyone? So therefore you may have a federal issue and you may have a concurrent state issue.
Wall Street Journal says the following: whatever his transgressions, defendants are entitled to due process, which includes the right to appeal. Ms. James is trying to short-circuit the justice system to get Mr. Trump, as she promised she would during the 2018 campaign. I mean, is it time for another court to step in, Vic, and maybe make their presence known?
Beyond a shadow of a doubt, absolutely. When you have a district attorney who's running for an elected position saying, I'm going to get X, Y, and Z, imagine being X, Y, and Z if you're innocent. Imagine being X, Y, and Z if you're criminally culpable. But imagine if you can just relate to X, Y, and Z. And now these people have said, I'm going to elect you, so she needs to make good on her promise. Win, lose, or draw. If it's a weak case, you can bet your bottom dollar she was still going to limp through without a jury and only a judge. Yes, another court will get involved in this case. I believe we'll see action even from the New York State Supreme Court, but especially from the federal circuit courts.
Quickly, here's George Stephanopoulos and Nancy Mace back on March 10th. Watch.
You've endorsed Donald Trump for president. Judges and two separate juries have found him liable for rape and for defaming the victim of that rape. How do you square your endorsement of Donald Trump with the testimony we just saw?
It's a shame that you will never feel, George.
Stephanopoulos got it wrong. Does Trump have a case to sue him?
You know, when you have individuals who are public figures or celebrities, there's a real high level, a threshold. You have to show over and above what you would normally have to show for a normal citizen, like you and I, perhaps. He has a tough claim here. Actually, yes, under the law, he should prevail. That was so unreasonably careless to project that on public news, but in reality, I don't think that glass is going to be half full by the time the day is ended.
Vic Bajaj, great to have you on as always. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.